This video is an exploration into the world of the father of modern journalism, a visionary who thought governance was better left to a specialized class of men. His writings are considered the most effective indictment of democracy as currently conceived. In this video, we will discover what made him such a force to be reckoned with, and why his views on democracy struck a nerve. We'll unpack the influential facets of his life and ponder the profound challenges he saw within the democratic framework, and explore the central ideas behind his transformative impact on media and society at large. First, let's figure out who this guy is. In the heart of New York City, at the cusp of the 20th century, a young Walter Lippmann emerged, a figure destined to challenge the very fabric of journalism and the nature of truth itself. Born on a crisp September day in 1889, Walter's life unfolded against the backdrop of privilege and opportunity. He was raised in an atmosphere where ideas flourished, where intellectual pursuits were nurtured, and where the corridors of power intertwined with the echoes of scholarly discussions. From early on, it was evident that Walter possessed a fervent curiosity that outshone his peers. His formative years at Harvard University served as a crucible for his burgeoning intellect. There, amid the hallowed halls of academia, he honed his skills in rhetoric and analysis, becoming a ferocious consumer of knowledge. Upon his graduation in 1910, Walter embarked on a journey that would etch his name into the annals of journalistic history. His voice, eloquent and resolute, found its resonance at the New Republic, an American magazine of commentary on politics, where he carved his niche as a beacon of insight and clarity. But Walter's pursuits weren't ordinary. They weren't merely about reporting events. They were about decoding the intricate layers of human understanding. It was amidst the typewriter clicks and ink-stained pages that he conceived his magnum opus, Public Opinion. In 1922, the world was introduced to Walter's revelations via his book Public Opinion. It was considered a seismic shift in the paradigm of democracy and media. The manufacture of consent, he called it. In those pages, he unveiled the stark truth that public opinion was often a mosaic, crafted not from first-hand experience or analysis, but from pictures crafted by the filtered, biased lens of the media. Walter's influence transcended the confines of journalism. He became an advisor and was consulted by presidents. His counsel, sought in times of war and peace, reflected the depth of his understanding of global affairs and governance. Even now, in the corridors of academia and the bustling newsrooms, echoes of Walter's wisdom persist. His legacy endures, a testament to the unyielding spirit of inquiry and the enduring power of one man's quest to unravel the mysteries of truth and a world shaped by perception. That, in a nutshell, was Walter Lippmann. Now, let's take a deeper dive into his magnum opus, Public Opinion, and why it was, and is, so influential. Walter Lippmann's book, Public Opinion, remains a cornerstone in understanding the profound impact of media on society and the intricacies of shaping public perception. This seminal work revolutionized how we perceive the relationship between the media, the public, and the democratic process. At its core, Lippmann's book introduces the concept of the manufacture of consent. He delved into the idea that the public's perception of reality is not directly shaped by pure, unfiltered information, but rather by a curated version presented by the media. Lippmann argued that individuals bombarded with a deluge of complex information often rely on mental shortcuts or stereotypes to form opinions due to the limitations of their direct experiences. Therefore, the media acts as a crucial intermediary, filtering and interpreting events to construct a version of reality accessible to the public. Lippmann's work was profoundly influential in shaping the field of journalism. It prompted journalists to reflect on their role as mediators between events and public perception. They began to recognize the immense responsibility they carried in disseminating information, accurately, ethically, and comprehensively. The book also underscored the necessity of diverse perspectives in reporting to present a more nuanced understanding of complex issues. Moreover, Lippmann highlighted the potential pitfalls of the media's power to manipulate public opinion. He cautioned against the dangers of propaganda and the manipulation of information by those in authority to sway public sentiment for their own agendas. This awareness catalyzed discussions on media ethics and the need for an informed, critical citizenry capable of discerning between facts and misinformation. Lippmann's ideas resonated far beyond the realm of journalism. They permeated various facets of society, influencing political theory, psychology, and sociology. His work spurred conversations about the functioning of democracy in an age inundated with information, prompting scholars and policymakers to explore ways to ensure an informed and engaged public. Decades after its publication, Public Opinion continues to serve as a foundational text, guiding contemporary discussions on media literacy, the impact of technology on information dissemination, and the evolving nature of public discourse. It stands as a timeless reminder of the intricate relationships between media, public opinion, and the dynamics of democratic society. Lippmann's legacy endures, reminding us of the imperative need to critically evaluate the information presented to us, to question the narratives we encounter, and to recognize the profound influence media wields in shaping our perceptions of the world around us. Now that we know that public opinion can be manufactured, what does this mean for democracy? Walter Lippmann's Public Opinion had a profound impact on the understanding of democracy, highlighting both its potential and its vulnerabilities in the context of media and public perception. One significant impact was the elimination of the challenges democracy faces in an era of complex information dissemination. Lippmann's exploration revealed how the sheer volume of information, coupled with human cognitive limitations, could impede an individual's ability to form well-informed opinions. Public opinion proposes that the increased power of propaganda and the specialized knowledge required for effective political decisions have rendered the traditional notion of democracy impossible. The basic problem of democracy, Lippmann wrote, was the accuracy of news and protection of sources. He argued that distorted information was inherent in the human mind. People make up their minds before they define the facts, while the ideal would be to gather and analyze the facts before reaching conclusions. His work underscored the critical role of the media in shaping public opinion. This recognition led to a heightened awareness of the responsibility of the journalists and the media outlets in presenting accurate, diverse, and unbiased information. Lippmann recognized that the media was altering the flow of information by limiting the media content that was presented to the public. Furthermore, Lippmann presents the idea of agenda setting, as he recognizes that the mass media is the link between individual perceptions of a world and the world that actually exists. Walter Lippmann's concept of the mass herd, or mass man, is a fundamental aspect of his exploration in public opinion. It delves into the idea that individuals within society often operate as a collective, influenced by external forces and guided by a perceived consensus rather than individual critical thinking. In Lippmann's view, the mass herd represents the tendency of individuals to conform to prevailing opinions or the dominant narrative without necessarily engaging in independent, rational analysis. This concept stems from the observations that people, overwhelmed by the complexities of the world and bombarded with information, often resort to mental shortcuts or rely on the opinions of others to form their own views. He argued that due to the limitations of direct experience and the inherent complexity of issues, individuals are inclined to accept information and opinions that align with their preconceived notions or those propagated by influential sources, be it the media, leaders, or societal norms. This tendency to conform to the opinions of the perceived majority forms what he termed as the herd mentality, or the mass man. Lippmann's concept of the mass man emphasizes the susceptibility of individuals to be swayed by the opinions and narratives presented by external sources, sometimes without critically evaluating the information. It underscores the challenges faced by democracy, where an informed and critical thinking citizenry is crucial for the functioning of a robust and responsive society. Lippmann was an early and influential commentator on mass culture, notable not for criticizing or rejecting mass culture entirely, but discussing how it could be worked with by a government-licensed propaganda machine to keep democracy functioning. In Public Opinion, Lippmann said that mass man functioned as a bewildered herd, who must be governed by a specialized class whose interests reach beyond the locality. The elite class of intellectuals and experts were to be a machinery of knowledge, to circumvent the primary deficit of democracy, the impossible idea of the omnicompetent citizen. Walter Lippmann's concept of the specialized class is a pivotal aspect of his analysis in Public Opinion. He refers to a group of individuals who possess specialized knowledge, expertise, and skills in various fields, distinguishing them from the broader public. In Lippmann's view, the complexity of modern society and the deluge of information necessitate a division between the specialized class and the mass man. This specialized class comprises experts, intellectuals, policymakers, scientists, and professionals who possess in-depth knowledge and understanding of specific subjects. They are equipped with expertise acquired through education, training, and experience, allowing them to comprehend intricate issues more comprehensively than the average citizen. According to Lippmann, the specialized class plays a crucial role in shaping public opinion and policy making. They act as intermediaries between complex information and the general public, interpreting, simplifying, and disseminating information in a more digestible form. This group influences public opinion indirectly by providing guidance, analysis, and recommendations through various channels such as the media, advisory roles in government, or academic discourse. Lippmann argues that in a society inundated with intricate issues ranging from economics to foreign policy, the average citizen lacks the time, expertise, or inclination to delve deeply into every subject. Therefore, they rely on the specialized class to distill complex information into accessible forms, guiding their understanding and opinions. However, Lippmann also cautioned against the potential pitfalls of the specialized class. He noted that while expertise is valuable, it can also lead to a detachment from everyday realities and perspectives of the general public. This detachment might foster a sense of elitism or create a gap between the expert analysis and the lived experiences of ordinary citizens. In essence, Lippmann's concept of the specialized class underscores the importance of expertise and knowledge in guiding public opinion and policy formation. It highlights the role of experts in translating complex information for the public, while also emphasizing the need for these experts to remain connected to and responsive to broader societal concerns and perspectives. In essence, Public Opinion urged a deeper understanding of the complexities surrounding democracy, emphasizing the need for an informed and engaged citizenry. Its impact lay in catalyzing discussions and actions aimed at fortifying democratic ideals by addressing the challenges posed by media manipulation, misinformation, and the intricacies of public perception. Ultimately, the book served as a catalyst for initiatives striving to strengthen democratic processes by empowering individuals to navigate the complexities of the information age with discernment and critical thinking. If you have an interest in how people can be manufactured, take a look at this example video on diamonds.